He was a willowy 6'11", and he covered the basketball court like Spider-Man. Picked fifth in the 1995 draft by the Minnesota Timberwolves, Kevin Garnett did what hadn't been done in a generation.
Here I come, world. Here I come.
Three-point king in NBA history.
Rubio, nice feed inside for KG.
From a highly touted high school kid to becoming one of the most feared superstars in NBA history, this is the story of NBA legend Kevin Garnett. Kevin Garnett was drafted into the NBA straight out of high school in the 1995 NBA draft. He was selected with the 5th overall pick by the Minnesota Timberwolves, which made him the first player in 20 years to be drafted directly from high school. At the time of the draft, Garnett was just 19 years old and had only played 1 year of high school basketball. However, he was already a highly touted prospect due to his incredible athleticism, size, and skills on the court.
If you're going to be anything in this league, you got to have an edge.
Garnett's selection by the Timberwolves was somewhat surprising, as many teams were skeptical about drafting high school players at the time. However, the Timberwolves were impressed by Garnett's potential and felt that he could develop into a dominant player in the league. Kevin Garnett's rookie season in the NBA was a unique experience for him, as he was one of the few players in league history to go straight from high school to the NBA. In his rookie year, Garnett was raw and inexperienced, but he showed flashes of his immense potential. He averaged 10.4 points, 6.3 rebounds, and 1.8 assists per game, while shooting 49% from the field. Despite his solid numbers, Garnett's rookie year was marked by inconsistency and a steep learning curve. Although the Timberwolves missed the playoffs that season, Garnett's rookie year was an important step in his development as a player. After his rookie season, Kevin Garnett worked tirelessly to improve his game and fulfill his potential as a superstar in the NBA. He made significant strides in several areas of his game, including his shooting, ball handling, defense, and leadership. One of the keys to Garnett's development was his work ethic. He was known for his intense preparation and dedication to his craft, spending countless hours in the gym and on the court perfecting his skills. He also worked closely with coaches and teammates to learn the nuances of the game and to develop a better understanding of his role on the team. Garnett's physical attributes also played a significant role in his development as a player. He was blessed with exceptional size, speed, and athleticism, which made him a matchup nightmare for opposing teams. He used his length and quickness to dominate on defense, and his agility and finesse allowed him to score from anywhere on the court. As Garnett's skills and confidence grew, he became more assertive on the court and emerged as a team leader for the Timberwolves. Individually, the best season of Garnett's career was in 2003-2004 when he was voted league MVP for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Kevin Garnett's MVP season in 2003-2004 was a defining moment in his career and one of the greatest individual seasons in NBA history. That year, Garnett led the Minnesota Timberwolves to a franchise record 58 wins and the Western Conference Finals while putting up some of the best numbers of his career. During the 03-04 season, Garnett averaged 24.2 points, 13.9 rebounds, 5.0 assists, 1.5 blocks, and 1.2 steals per game, while shooting 49.9% from the field. He led the league in rebounding and finished second in scoring, while also contributing to his team on the defensive end of the court. Garnett's all-around performance that season was truly remarkable. He posted 22 games with at least 30 points and 15 rebounds, and he recorded 20 triple-doubles. He also became the first player in NBA history to average at least 20 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists for 5 consecutive seasons. In addition to his impressive statistical achievements, Garnett was widely recognized for his leadership and impact on the Timberwolves. He helped to transform the franchise from a perennial losing team into a contender, and his work ethic and commitment to his craft inspired his teammates and coaches alike. The Timberwolves entered the playoffs that season as the top seed in the Western Conference with a franchise record 58 wins on the season. In the first round, they faced off against the Denver Nuggets, who they dispatched in 5 games. Garnett was dominant in the series, averaging 24 points, 17.8 rebounds, and 5.8 assists per game. In the second round, the Timberwolves faced the Sacramento Kings, who had eliminated them in the first round of the playoffs the previous year. This time, however, the Timberwolves were able to exact revenge, defeating the Kings in a thrilling 7-game series. Garnett continued his stellar play, averaging 24.6 points, 14.2 rebounds, and 5.2 assists per game in the series. The Timberwolves' run came to an end in the Western Conference Finals, where they faced off against the heavily favored Los Angeles Lakers, led by Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant. Despite putting up a valiant effort, the Timberwolves were ultimately unable to overcome the Lakers, losing the series in 6 games. Throughout the playoffs, Garnett was the driving force behind the Timberwolves' success, averaging 24.3 points, 14.6 rebounds, and 5.1 assists per game. However, the Minnesota Timberwolves failed to make the playoffs for 3 consecutive seasons following Garnett's MVP campaign. One of the main reasons was the lack of talent around Garnett. Although Garnett was still one of the best players in the NBA, the supporting cast on the Timberwolves was not strong enough to compete with the top teams in the Western Conference. The team struggled to find a consistent second scoring option, and they lacked depth on the bench. In addition, the team went through a period of instability and turnover in the front office and coaching staff. There were several changes in management and coaching during those years, and the constant turnover led to a lack of stability and direction for the team. Despite these challenges, Kevin Garnett continued to play at a high level, and he was named an All-Star in each of those 3 seasons. In the summer of 2007, Kevin Garnett was traded from the Minnesota Timberwolves to the Boston Celtics in a blockbuster deal that reshaped the NBA landscape. The trade was initiated by Garnett himself, who had become frustrated with the Timberwolves' inability to build a championship contending team around him. After discussions with team management, Garnett requested a trade, and the Timberwolves began exploring their options. The Boston Celtics emerged as the frontrunners for Garnett's services, and they put together a package that included several players and draft picks, including Al Jefferson, Ryan Gomes, Gerald Green, Sebastian Telfair, Theo Ratliff, and 2 first-round draft picks. The trade was ultimately completed in July 2007, and Garnett joined a Celtics team that already featured All-Stars Paul Pierce and Ray Allen. The 3 stars formed a Big Three that was immediately hailed as one of the most talented trios in NBA history. In the 2007-2008 season, Kevin Garnett's first with the Boston Celtics, he made an immediate impact on the team's success. Garnett was named the NBA Defensive Player of the Year for the 2007-2008 season, a testament to his outstanding defensive skills and his impact on the Celtics defense as a whole. He averaged 1.4 steals and 1.2 blocks per game that season, and he was a dominant force in the paint, deterring opposing players from attempting shots near the basket. Garnett's contributions on offense were also significant. He averaged 18.8 points per game and 9.2 rebounds per game that season. In the playoffs, Garnett continued his strong play, averaging 20.4 points and 10.5 rebounds per game. He led the Celtics to a dominant postseason as they went 16-10 en route to the NBA championship, the first and only championship title of Kevin Garnett's NBA career. Garnett's leadership and intensity were instrumental in the Celtics' success as he set the tone for the team's defense and helped establish a winning culture in Boston. Garnett's performance in the 2007-2008 season cemented his status as one of the best two-way players in NBA history. His ability to impact the game on both ends of the court was a key factor in the Celtics' championship run, and his leadership and work ethic set the tone for the team's success. The next season, the Celtics finished with a record of 62-20, the best in the Eastern Conference. They advanced to the conference semifinals before losing to the Orlando Magic in 7 games. In 2009-2010, the Celtics finished with a record of 50-32 and made it to the NBA Finals, where they lost to the Los Angeles Lakers in 7 games. The 2010-2011 season was a challenging one for the Celtics, as they dealt with injuries to several key players, including Garnett, who missed 14 games. Despite this, they finished with a record of 56-26 and made it to the conference semifinals, where they lost to the Miami Heat in 5 games. The 2011-2012 season was shortened by a labor dispute, but the Celtics still managed to finish with a record of 39-27 and make it to the conference finals, where they once again lost to the Heat in 7 games. By 2012-2013, Boston as a whole began to age, and it was clear that their run as league contenders was over. The Celtics finished with a record of 41-40 and made it to the first round of the playoffs, where they lost to the New York Knicks in 6 games. Throughout this span, Garnett continued to be a key contributor to the Celtics' success. His defensive prowess and leadership were instrumental in the team's playoff runs, and his intensity and work ethic set the tone for the rest of the roster. Garnett's impact on the Celtics was felt both on and off the court, as he helped establish a winning culture in Boston and helped mentor younger players on their roster. After leaving the Celtics in 2013, Kevin Garnett's career began to wind down. He spent a brief stint with the Brooklyn Nets, where he served as a mentor to younger players on the roster, but he was no longer the dominant force he had been earlier in his career. He then returned to the Minnesota Timberwolves, where he played for one final season in 2015-2016. Garnett ultimately retired from basketball in 2016, ending a career that spanned 21 seasons and included numerous accolades, including 15 All-Star selections, 9 All-NBA selections, and 4 All-Defensive selections. He also won an NBA championship, an NBA MVP award, and a Defensive Player of the Year award, cementing his status as one of the greatest players in NBA history. In 2020, Garnett was inducted into the NBA Hall of Fame.